Hey, welcome back. This is for Aquarius November 2018. This is your forecast. Let's see what's going to be going on in November. So I'm working intuitively. I'm giving everything that I get. Not all of you will necessarily resonate with everything, but I am absolutely sure that you will be able to take what you need to, because this is a general reading for Aquarius. So this is all of those Aquarius and those on the cusp either side as well. Now, as I'm connecting in, I do feel very much that there is a need to finish what we started. There is a need to finish projects, situations. It is time to bring completion. November for you is all about completion, and in doing so, you can then take that next step and jump into that leap of faith, putting your heart's desire into action, into focus. I do feel the first 2 weeks of November there is going to be a period of just breathing, just being in that moment, just sitting and allowing whatever is to be. In order for you to gather your thoughts, your true thoughts, not those that have been tainted by people around you, but to gather how you really feel about situations, people, relationships, and get a really clear view. Because once you've got a clear view, then you can move forward. The problem you've been having is that you get these moments where you are very clear, I know what I'm doing, and then after a little while, because you haven't actioned those thoughts and feelings and beliefs, they tend to get a little bit murky again, and then you kind of lose your thought process, you lose your momentum in those situations. It does feel that for quite a lot of you, Aquarius, you have started something that is so important. This is not something physical, this is on a much more deeper level. I want to say spiritual as well as emotional. It's almost like an unattachment. That can be from old toxic thought patterns, and that will be for some of you. I do apologise. And for others, it will be walking away from situations and people that are no longer vibrating at the same level as you, and therefore you are grating. You are not getting on, you are not clicking anymore. And that's absolutely fine. The only thing standing in your way is your own denial in that, and your own guilt of feeling like you can't possibly move forwards. It's really important to acknowledge your fears that you have. It's important to acknowledge where that sits, where that's come from, in order for you to be able to move that forwards. Because then you can kind of replace it with awareness, actual this is. And the problem with fear, Aquarius, is that it will stop you in your tracks. It will stop you in your tracks if you allow it. For some of you, this is going to be life-changing, and it's going to be the making of you. It's going to be a new beginning completely. Because when you do these things, when you release the guilt from the situation that you're trying to conclude, you can then move forward and then put that heart's desire into practice. It feels like you are going at half speed. It's like you're in second gear, and actually you're on the motorway now. It's time to notch it up a bit, and you're not certain on how to change that gear. So for you, Aquarius, at the end of that second week, it's going to be it's almost like a holding period, a time of amalgamating all that you know, all that you fear, and then all that you are factually aware of, so you can then push through. And in doing so, you're going to free yourself up so much, so much. Now, towards the end of November, you're going to look back on the beginning 2 weeks of November and wonder why it's taken you so long, years, to move forwards in this way. And we do find that often something so simple, if we take the emotions out of it, something so easy, seemingly easy to do, gets turned into a mountain rather than a molehill. And it's really hard to overcome that mountain. The trick is to realise that it's not a mountain at all. The only person standing in your way is you. And you are creative, you are passionate, but you're also stuck in a bit of fear. So use November to clear the way so that you can then take those leaps that you need to. I do feel this is work-based with some of you. You will find that either you're going to move in a slightly different direction or you're going to up your game. You're going to bring it to the table and be like, this is me. This is version 3.6 instead of 1.2. This is me, take me as I am or watch me as I go. So be aware of that, because it does feel like it's going to be a driving force throughout November and then into the end of November when you're going to be ready to step up. But as I said, for the beginning of November, the first, 10 days, 12 days, just breathe. Just look, just observe what's going on in your life. Observe the relationships, observe the circumstances and situations that surround you as well as are inside of you. Just observe your life without judgment if it's possible, because we all know that judgment just leads to crappy feelings, but just be aware of it. Take those rose tinted glasses off if you're wearing them and see it exactly as it is. There's nothing to be ashamed of, there's nothing to be afraid of. You're just seeing everything. And once you see everything, there is nothing to be fearful of. Therefore, there is no denial, and you are in full awareness of the situation. And that eliminates that need to have that block in the first place. Now, around about the 23rd, it feels like something is going to end. A situation, circumstance, cord, attachment. For you, it will be different to the next person, but it is definitely a turning point. It's definitely one of those days where you walk away at the end of it and go, holy cow, everything's different. So be aware of that, allow that to unfold. It's going to unfold with or without you. And if this is an internal thought process, then allow that to happen too. If this is not a physical thing, allow it to be an emotional or a internal dialogue and just observe. Now, Aquarius, I know that you are hard workers. I know that when you say you're going to get a job done, it gets done. But it's time now to have a little bit of fun too. And to be a bit easier on yourself, because you have gone through a huge process this year. A huge process of untying the knots that bind you from being truly you. Around about the 27th, 28th of November, you're going to make a decision, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to lead to so much more in your working life, but that's then going to have an effect in your home life and personal life and everywhere else. So be aware of that. Take the opportunities that are given to you. I know that you'll have a thirst for learning. Do continue that, because I do feel like you're going to come across information that is going to change the way that you do work. I also very quickly need to mention the heart's desire. That can change. That's not something we are born with and we die with. It is something that is interchangeable. Once we have done something, then quite often our heart's desire will be something else, or even at the same time we may have a few heart's desires. Don't allow your other passions, your other I want to do's fall by the wayside because people demand your time. It is important for you now to step forwards and own your time, own your space, and sock it to them. If you want to read all day, then do it. If you want to turn your phone off for an hour, then do it. Because you've given enough of yourself, Aquarius. And now it's time to step back into what you need and what you want. But that will happen once you finish what you've started. Do not forget that. Thank you so much, Aquarius, for joining me. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I am so humbled that you are here. If you feel able to, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon, which is just over there somewhere. That will keep you up to date and give you notifications of new content. I am posting daily guidance cards, which is a smaller version of a forecast. It is just something for you to be aware of during your day and as you go about your day. You can find me on Facebook. I would really appreciate it if you come over and follow. It's a really interactive community. It's Natalie Collins, Intuitive Medium. You can email me if you'd like to book a reading at nataliecollinsmediumoutlook@outlook.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But for now, I appreciate all your support, and ciao for now.